ជំរាបសួរបងប្អូនប្រជាជនខ្មែរ Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, global people all around the world. I'm Thierry from Cambodia. ហើយជំរាបសួរជាពិសេសទៅកាន់បងប្អូនប្រជាជនខ្មែរចាThis is Untold Story number 20. Welcome to FFG TV. You have been watching from the number 1 until the number 19. It's already amazing story that have been revealed. Yes, today this is the Untold Story number 20. Another amazing story going to tell today. Yeah, before I invite our most amazing special guest, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel FFG TV and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss all the story. Okay, so today our special guest is the most amazing man, amazing businessman that has been doing his own business since he was very young. He is a Singaporean, but now he is in Solomon. Okay, let us all welcome Mr. Ho Chi Minh. Chi Minh. Hello, Chi Minh. Good morning. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, because he is now in Solomon, okay, and if you know, there is a little bit difficulty challenge for all of us for his internet. Okay, so this is the Untold Story, and our special guest is him. He is a Singaporean. He's been doing his own business since he was, if I'm not wrong, since he was 19, and now he's been locked down, okay, because of the situation right now. He is in Solomon, and the internet over there is really amazing for him, okay. So we wait a little bit for the internet to running to us, keep coming, okay. Yeah, so let me a little bit introduce about his background. Yeah, I met him since 2012. Yeah, I met him since 2012, and for me, he is a very amazing one because he never worked. He start his own business, and as far as I know, he can buy his own dream car since he was 19. Yeah, this is very amazing. Yeah, so because of the internet, so let me welcome because together with Mr. Chi Minh, there is also amazing person behind his success story. Yeah, we have many VIP today together with us, and most of all, the one and only, as you met him every week, is our founder, FFG founder, Mr. Onggi Hianata. So let me welcome him first. Good morning, Pak Onggi. ជំរាបសួរ
Hello, good morning, Terry. How are you?
I'm glad, Pak. How about you?
I'm so happy to see you again through this Zoom, even through Zoom meeting.
Yeah, I'm glad that you are here with us. Thank you so much, Pak, for your time. Yeah,
My pleasure.
so the next person, she is the most amazing businessman, a woman. She's been together with Mr. Chi Minh. If I'm not wrong, it's almost 2 decades. You know, it's not a normal journey together. They've been together, traveling the world, doing the business, sharing many stories together. So let us all welcome Miss Yolani Dekchukusumo. Good morning, Chi.
Morning, Terry. Lovely Terry. How are you?
Love you, Chi. I'm great. How are you?
I'm always good.
Yeah, Chi. Yeah, because the special guest now is on the way. Yeah, so we will.
Yeah, I think that he's there already. I think he's there already. Yeah.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so before I invite, because he is the special guest for today, so let me invite him, not the least, but the last one, okay? Yeah, so along with Mr. Ho Chi Minh, we also have another amazing couple. You know, they are a very amazing one. They've been together with Mr. Chi Minh, and as far as I know, they have many untold story together with him. Yeah, the most amazing couple is a global entrepreneur and also a global investor. Let us all welcome Mr. Matthias Kassi and Miss Florence Kassi.
Hello, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hello,
How are you?
Hello, Pa. I'm great. And you?
Amazing.
Lovely.
Yeah,
warm
I'm glad that
regards
you are
from
here.
Indonesia, yeah.
Yeah. So hello to all the Indonesian people who is watching right now with us. So today you have Cambodia, you have Singapore, you have Indonesia, and also you have a Solomonian. Okay, let me welcome Mr. Singaporean and also Mr. Solomonian, our special guest for tonight, Mr. Oh Chi Ming. Welcome, Chi Ming.
Hello, Terry. Sorry, I missed the first few minutes of the session because as you may have understand, I'm not in Singapore right now. I'm in another country. Start with S, but not Singapore. It's called Solomon Island. Yeah. So I know in Asia we are moving to 5G. Yeah, but here I think we are only 2.5G here only. So please pardon my the internet connection here. Yeah, this is Chimeng. Greetings to everyone watching this Anto story. Yeah, thank you, Terry, for inviting me.
Yeah, I thought your internet over there is 7G, because it's very fast until we cannot catch your frequency. Okay, Chi Ming, yeah, I'm so glad that today you are here with us, and my honor to be your host today. So many questions. I mean, like there are a lot of story behind your success today. So before I come to the other question, I would like to ask the first question. How did you come to know FFG, and what is your first impression when you meet all your mentor in FFG? And if I'm not wrong, you also have your own business before you know FFG. Can you share us more?
Yes, Terry. Actually, I think it's really a coincidence that I met my mentors in this business, Miss Juliani, Florence, Matthias, and of course, Paongi. Yeah. During 2008, actually, I was in another multi-level marketing company. Okay, but I was going through a series of failures. Yeah, in the business, I keep facing setbacks in my network. So I felt that the leadership, or so-called there's something wrong with the company or the network that I joined. And at that time, I met with Pak Ongi. Yeah. I remember I met him at the Toa Payoh hub in Singapore, and Pak Ongi is not that kind of. He's a very humble. He gave me a very humble impression, lah. Yeah. So in my first MLM company, we don't fancy humble impression. We like to show off. Yeah. So he is totally opposite. And the very first time I saw him, so I was wondering if he is earning money or not in the MLM. Yeah. How can he become my upline? Something like that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Then I get to know Pak Ongi, Miss Juliani, and in Indonesia, I met Miss Florence, and Matthias. Yeah. So that's how I met them, 2008. That's how I get to know them.
Yeah, so mean that you said that you've been fail in your network before, and when you met them, the first impression about them is the kind of the humbleness they had. Yeah, so I can foresee the situation that you're in the status of failure, and then you meet them. How you expect from them, and how you see the difference between your old network and now with FFG. I mean, like the no system and the with system.
Yeah, actually, the first time when I met with Paongi, it is how do I say? It's like it's a paradigm shift. Yeah, why I say that? Because in my first 3 years of my MLM, I am being taught totally what Paongi shared with me. For example, when I met Paongi, I was driving an Audi A3 2-liter turbo. Yeah. And that time I was 22 years old. So when I went to see Paongi, honestly, my intention is to show off to him what I have as during that time, 22 years old. So I believe when he came to see me, he didn't want to show me anything. It's like nothing to show. Yeah. So that is like a totally different kind of mindset already. Yeah. So in my first MLM, it's like we are trying to show off to everyone that we have something. But really, do we have something or not? Whether we are rich or not, if I put it more straightforward, is another question. But I was being told to show off. Yeah. So when I earned my first maybe sum of money, my upline encouraged me to spend on the symbol of wealth. At my age, I didn't buy house, so that time I bought car just to show off. So when I met Paonggi, his first suggestion was to sell my Audi away. It took me about 1 month or so, or 2 months to agree. Yeah, and after that, of course, now I really want to thank him for that wonderful suggestion, because that advice has totally changed my mindset about handling money. Until today, how I manage my wealth, my family, my parents' expenses and everything. Yeah, all started from that first move to sell away my car, which is a liability to me. Yeah, when I was 22 years old. So that is just one thing. There are many things that he told me in FFG that is totally opposite of what I was told. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can say that this is the beginning of the untold. I don't think a lot of people know about this. The first advice that you got from your expect, the kind of expect for a success, and then turns out that the first advice is become to loss. I mean, like to sell away your face. At 22 years old, you try and yeah.
When I tell you, Terry, when I sell away my car, I almost pray every day I don't see my friend, because when I drive my car, I especially drive my car to some of my friend's house, and I park below their house, and I tell them to come down and see my new car. So every day, for the first 6 months, I really pray to God that I will not see any of these friends that I show off to. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I think all the men who watching this show can understand your feeling very well, because a young man consider a very successful by yourself that time, your own definition, driving an Audi sport car, and now the first mentor in your life advise you to sell away the car. Yeah, so I will keep this because I want to know more. How can he kind of advise? I want to know more, and I believe the audience also want to know more. Yeah, so the next question I want to ask, because I heard that you have been gone through building this business from country to country, many countries at a very young age, and there's a lot of experience during this journey. Can you share one of the most interesting you can recall back? How you feel when you first start traveling one by one country building this business?
Yeah, that is the most wonderful part about FFG, or how I learned from Paonggi and of course all my mentors. Because as I learned the system, the mentoring program, the FFG way, I felt that Singapore is just a country, but actually FFG can conquer the whole world. So as a young man, I was feeling like I don't want to stay where I am, because Singapore population is only 5 million or 5.5 million now, but previously maybe 5 million. So I feel that I want to expose myself to the bigger market or the bigger world. So I try at that age of 22, 23. I went to almost every Southeast Asia country. I went to Philippines, I went to Vietnam, I went to Thailand, I went to Indonesia. And of course, I went to your beautiful country, Cambodia. Yeah, but Cambodia was later.
Yeah.
So I ventured into every country and I tried looking for prospect. Honestly, not many successful cases, if I were to say today. But I want to say that it is actually very successful. Why? Because that so-called unsuccessful experience built the kind of mindset that I have today. Because if you count the number of countries I go, the number of downline I recruited, the number of downline that leave me or I leave the network is more than my downline I have today. It's like if I have 20,000 downline today, I have lost 80,000 downline in my last 16 years already. So, but without that experience, I wouldn't come to where I am today. Yeah, so that is what I can share with you. If you were to ask me of my experience building overseas, and I remember if you ask me one very unforgettable experience was building. Yeah, I tell you, if you were me, you will feel unforgettable too. So this country is called Kenya. Yeah, for those of you who don't know where is Kenya, Kenya is in the East Africa. Yeah, so I don't know why God put me to all those very amazing country. Like I am in Solomon right now, and this amazing experience also happened in another beautiful country called Kenya. So there are two incidents in Kenya that happened that make me this country is so unforgettable. Okay, first is when I went to Kenya. Okay, first time with my leader, yeah, Miss Florence and Miss Yuliani. These two very powerful lady. We went there to so-called build a new market and everything. Yeah, so I was very excited. I have already prepared my list of prospect and all my meeting, my schedule for my 1 week. Yeah, so I didn't know that halfway through my schedule, yeah, I know that they actually is going to leave me alone. Yeah. And why they want to leave me alone is not because they have prospect, yeah, but because they want to see the wildlife. They want to go to see the lion. I don't know, like mating, or they want to see the giraffe or what. I don't know. Yeah. So at the end of the day, yeah, halfway of my journey, I'm alone already. So, and then they come back on the last day. Yeah, on the last day of my presentation, they asked me, they didn't care about me. They just asked me how many diamond you close. Okay, I asked, okay, quite a few diamond. Yeah. Then I asked Miss Yuliani and Florence, yeah, Joyen, yeah, I say, so where did y'all go? Oh, I tell you, Jimeng. He said, what? Yeah. You know the lion can they can mate how many times a day or not? How many seconds? Oh my goodness! So I realized that they didn't go to another city to build prospect, but they went to prospect the animal kingdom. Yeah, they didn't prospect diamond. So I felt that what this is? At first I feel, what kind of upline is this? We fly so far together, and then I'm left alone. Yeah. But then I realized that this is the beautiful part about this business. Yeah, when you have an amazing downline, I consider myself amazing. Yeah, so when you have an amazing downline, you can have financial freedom and time freedom already. So I pray, and then finally I got another downline, amazing, called Terry. Okay, so that is how this thing work together. So yeah, this is the first experience I have with Kenya. And then I think 1 year later, we come back to Kenya again, but actually just to transit. Yeah, just to transit. We want to go to Nigeria. And I was with these two ladies, this Miss Yuliani and Florence. Yeah. Again, something happened. Yeah. When we are at the boarding gate, so if you don't know where's the boarding gate, the boarding gate is the gate before the aeroplane. Yeah. They were in front of me, of course. Yeah, we identify. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to the plane to go to Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria is another 6 hours away from Kenya. Okay, Nigeria is in West Africa. Okay, for my friends who are listening. So at the boarding gate, they are in front of me, and suddenly the attendants say to them, "Oh, your visa has expired already. You cannot board the flight." I say, "What?" And then they also, "What?" And then it's like we are all shocked. Yeah, we are all shocked. Huh? How did your visa expire? I mean, how did your visa expire and you come to Kenya? Oh, because they didn't check in Indonesia, they didn't check in Singapore, they didn't check in Bangkok. Yeah, because that is all the country that they transit until there. Yeah. And then they look at me and say, "It's okay, Chimeng, you go first. Yeah, we will join you later." Again, I feel like why am I left alone again? Yeah. So cut the long story short, I flew to Nigeria in the flight alone. Yeah, in that 6 hours, I was thinking, why my two upline always leave me alone in Africa, especially in Kenya. So I tell myself, maybe next time I will never come with them again to Kenya. Even transit, I will never sit with them again. Yeah, maybe I will go by Dubai or go to Turkey or somewhere, but not to Kenya anymore. So anyhow, 2 days later, we met again in Nigeria. Yeah, they flew back. Yeah, they flew over, and then we met, and then we continued the journey. Yeah. So if you ask me, yeah, this is when I always want to recall something funny with my leader in some country. I always remember. I don't know whether they remember. Yeah, because they are the one that left me alone. So maybe they don't feel anything lah. But deep down in my heart, I think I need to release a little bit of burden. Maybe I need to go to boot camp free.
I think first time your two mentor is really want to find the Lion King because many wrong opinion about Africa, so they want to protect you. And the second trip, I don't think it's coincidence. Later, I will ask them myself because I believe all the audience want to know. I think something they plan for you, because of this amazing incident. That's why now you can stay alone in Solomon for so many years, so many months, right?
Yeah.
Your upline can foresee.
Solomon,
can foresee
unfortunately,
in
no crocodile, no lion, no tiger.
Yeah, because they trained you already. That's why now you are alone, and then you can stand strong over there. Chimeng. So this is the one of the amazing story that you can recall whenever you think of building the business in the other country. How about Cambodia? You don't have any amazing story with me or with all the team here?
Actually, Cambodia, we cannot say interesting, but I can only say is I feel Cambodia like my home already. I feel like how do I say? Honestly, when I was stuck in the Solomon last year, honestly, yeah. Even I talked to my wife is it's like this is one of the longest time in my last 5-6 years of my life that I never go to Cambodia to see Terry. I say to my wife, and she say, yeah. Then we were talking about because if you know me, Terry, right? I always come to Cambodia, then to Pacific, right? Vanuatu, Solomon, PNG, and then Jakarta is for boot camp and everything, yeah. So if you really recall, I go to Cambodia almost every month or every 2 months, for the last 5 years or 6 years. So if you ask me something like interesting, is not that interesting, but it's a home for me. Yeah. Even I consider my wife also. She say, why not we buy a house in Cambodia, maybe beside Terry and Vincent. So maybe we don't need to cook every day. We just go to their house and eat. So anyway.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. So Cambodia is my second home. Yeah. So not that kind of interesting experience I feel, but more of a home feeling, more of coming back to see my brother and sister. You know, like we are like how do I say in Chinese we call 战友. You know what is that feeling? It's like how do I say 战友? It's like we fight the war together. You know, we are like a team. Yeah, for me, like my feeling for Cambodia is 战 is like a warriors. We are like warriors. We are like a team of warrior together. When I think about Cambodia, I don't think like you are my downline or anything like this. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So that is my
I
little sharing about Cambodia.
You know, I try to recall. Is there any untold, any story that haven't told about us? I cannot recall. That's why I asked you. Okay, so yeah, if we talk more about how we've been together, I feel missing you so much, and then all the team here who is watching, missing you, and I believe everyone. Okay, Chi Minh, that is I can say that one of the untold story about you, how you build the other country from the other part of the world, which is Africa. Yeah, so I believe that later I will invite our amazing mentor to share how she feel about you, and then how this journey, how's that happen, because she's always travel around the world. How come that Kenya, she don't have that visa, and then is there a purpose behind that? Okay, so I will invite them later. And one of the thing that I believe all the audience and especially our team want to know, we learn so much about you, about the your skill, your talent behind this success. I mean, like the way you doing the coal prospecting is very amazing. You know, can you share us more tip about this? And is there any untold secret behind that?
Maybe actually I don't have a secret to so-called prospecting, but I enjoy when I was young. I enjoy talking to people. So I always just feel that prospecting, I don't want to say it's prospecting, but I just feel like I'm communicating with people. Of course, I have my intention when I talk to people. Yeah, but then I don't feel the most important is I don't feel rejected. Yeah, when my target or my goal was not achieved. For example, a lot of people, they feel that if they try to so-called talk to a stranger and the stranger don't reply them positively, they feel rejected. Yeah, then after 1 or 2 times they stop talking to people. But I don't have that feeling. For me, is I keep talking to people because I want to know how to communicate with people. Yeah, so it is like a never-ending journey, because if we do sales or we do any kind of job that we interact with human beings, people, we understand that everyone is different. So if you feel that talking to people is like to know more, then you will keep talking to more people because you want to know more and more about everyone, every style, every character, every personality, and then how you mingle with them. So that is how I see. I know most MLM or networker will say that is called prospecting, but for me is knowing the people. Yeah. So even if they, at the end of the day they don't become my downline, they don't become my friend, even it's just a hello, even I don't get their numbers, we don't stay in contact, it's okay, because the most important is I get to know how to communicate with this kind of person. So for me, talking to people is not prospecting. And for your information, I have more than 7,000, 8,000 numbers in my handphone contacts, which I don't know. I think more than your Facebook friend, because I know your Facebook only have 5,000 numbers. So I have more numbers than you Facebook can contain.
Yeah. Thank you, Chiming. So for you, prospecting is like a communication. Yeah, it's like a communicating between two people. Yeah, so we got this. We got this. Thank you so much, Chiming. And before this, I also would like to invite your mentor because I know that personally, I know her and I learn a lot from her also. And I heard that you've been travel together almost every continent together. So I want to hear her opinion about you, how she see you, and then your faith in this business, your courage when there is no upline or downline with you, but you're still going on. Yeah, so I would like to ask this question to Miss Yolani.
Yes,
Hello,
Terry.
Chi. Yeah,
Yo.
Chi.
Yes,
Yeah.
Terry.
So how you feel about your, can say that your student, your leader, your business partner, and your brother, your son? He is really amazing from what I see and what I learned from him. So how do you see about him in terms of his skill in the business and his mindset in the business why, and also the family's why, and his courage with or without you building this business?
I love Chimeng a lot. So when yesterday he shared about we have a briefing yesterday. I really say that God is really put him together in the FME with me. It's one of the blessing one, because it's a lot of young people together with me since the 20 years ago. One of the strongest one love FFG and love people is Chimeng. So that's why now he become like this. Okay. For me, I learned a lot, Terry. I learned a lot from him. Actually, when he said that, it's why I don't know what is why these two ladies leave me. Actually, that one is not our plan. It's God's plan for you, Chimeng. I also, you know what? It's a lot of things. Actually, we have a lot of experience. Okay, but I can say, just remember about you when you asked about Cambodian. What I know that you and the Chimeng and all the team is a really family. It's a really family. I remember when it's one time, one thing has happened, really happened, or really amazing happened in Chimeng life, and you the one that really cried badly, okay, for him and for Chimeng, and that is a family and all the children. I mean the team in Cambodia. So what I can say, Chimeng is one of the strongest young person. It's not only young, okay. Even that he is very young, but is one of the strongest one here. Cannot imagine how that if he can stay in Solomon, almost 2 years alone, okay. I mean, it's not alone. Of course, we have a team there, but I mean that it's from the Singaporean. And then he can just really upgrade the mind. And then together with the Solomon people, we know that is the situation in Solomon is the two kind of different country, okay? And that one is not easy. I remember I also together in Nigeria with Chimeng, with the 6 hour, with the I cannot say that a war situation, okay? But every 1 or 2 kilometers, there is an army waiting for us. And we pretend to be as like a Chinese couple. We build the network, okay? And then the army stopped us and then asked us, why? And then I said that I just said, no, I cannot speak English. I cannot speak English. But this one is really crazy, amazing experience when we talk to Paungi, because that one is quite a dangerous journey actually. We live in the place. There's only how much money that is stay there, and with the aircon also, it's not aircon. It's like that. Very good experience. And finally, I remember when Chimeng back with me, and the airplane, and you see, just go into the airplane. He said, "Yes, finally, yes, finally." I live Nigeria like that, what happened here? No. That is Chimeng. A lot of sorry, Terry. A lot of sorry, but I can recall this one time. I remember when we have a meeting, he just said that it's the birthday wish for the son, Jaden. You have to ask about this because it's when Chimeng also married. We are the family of Chimeng. So he talked to us, he talked to me. He want to marry, and with that all the kind of experience in his life. I really love him. And a lot of young people have to learn and have to really learn from his experience. This is one of the strongest one that I know.
Yeah, Chị. You remind me of something, you know. So yeah, thank you so much for this experience. Chimeng is the one that really been through a lot, and I mean, like in terms of business, in terms of family, and as our leader, as our brother, we learn so many things from him. And talking about the heart, we already connected. When he feel happy, we happy. When he not happy, I think all of us not happy also. We always want to see him happy. So talking about this, the situation in Solomon for 2 years with. For him, I can feel, you know, because we all have the family, we can feel the feeling. Last several weeks, we had a meeting together with him, and he said one word that for us, all of us shocked, you know. It's like I don't know how to say. He said that his son's birthday, and then he keep asking him, and then he didn't answer. He don't want to meet him on the phone, this and that. And finally, he said one word. So I want to ask Chimeng to say this one. Chimeng?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, Terry.
How you share us about Jaden that day, you know, you make us all cry. Yeah
Actually my son is a very maybe I say he is like me, very sentimental. We are very sentimental at young age. So I never expect this from him, because his birthday is 26th of October, just maybe last week. So as usual, you know, at 6 years old, you want birthday present, you want birthday cake, you want to go out and enjoy. So that day morning, already my wife asked him to go out and choose the birthday present and go out for shopping and everything like that. So he was very restless. I mean, not restless, sorry. He just want to rest in the house. So okay. So anyway, so he just rests in the house. So at night, because normally because of time difference, Solomon and Singapore. So I video call him at night. I say, happy birthday, Jaden. You want to get any birthday present? And Papa buy for you anything or not? So he keep quiet. He didn't say anything. So suddenly in front of the camera, he just cried. He cried. He said, I want Papa come back. You know, he didn't say anything about present. He just said, I want Papa come back. So, you know, this is my daughter's birthday too. My daughter will sayang the brother. This is not the day. This was because my daughter birthday was July 28. My daughter is more the bubbly kind. She don't cry. She just how to say whine, you know, like like that. So my daughter is the sweet kind, but my son is the very sentimental kind. So my daughter will say, don't cry, Coco, Papa will come back. Papa come back. So you know this picture, why are they in the box? Because the mother say, you put yourself in the box. I will send you to your papa in DHL. So they go inside the box and then they want to wrap themselves up. And then, you know, they can send the parcel to me. So I really miss them. My son. So so it's not easy to stay here every day, but it's worth how to say, it's worth fighting for this journey in FFG because maybe they miss me. Not maybe, of course they miss me and I miss them, but at least because of this amazing business, I think I can give them a so-called a beautiful future or a beautiful life. Yeah, unfortunately for this pandemic, but I thank FFG for this mindset that built into me to love my children and my family, my parents. Yeah, so very important because if I don't join FFG, maybe I will not know how to love, how to be responsible. Yeah. So yeah, that is my sharing for my
Yeah.
children.
Yeah, so Jaden is exactly like you, right? You are telling us that he is exactly like you. And so behind your fighting, there is two amazing children waiting for you. Behind your fighting, there is your beautiful wife waiting for you. And I believe the whole family of you is waiting for you. And your team is also waiting for you to come back. Okay. Yeah. So I don't want to make this story a little bit upset, for all the audience and everyone who is watching right now. Yeah. So I would like to invite our amazing couple who is witness every story in his life, every sad and every happy, the happy tea, everything. And one of the story that they've been together, like Mr. Chiming mentioned just now, is about the Kenya issue. So I would like to invite you, Florence, to come to the show and then share us. Is that your purpose to leave him, or that you want to prank your downline? You want to see how strong he is. So please, Chi.
Oh my goodness. That's also my never forget a story, because I tell you just a little bit, because Jimmy is tell you the other side. Okay, so we fly from Jakarta to Bangkok, and also Chimeng fly from Singapore to Bangkok. Usually, if our visa expired, at the first time we fly, it's already known by the crew, right? But this one is no. In Jakarta, it's just okay. And then in Bangkok, when we want to check in, the Bangkok crew say, "Oh, your visa is expired." Oh, no. When you see this one is not expired. This one is correct, like this, something like that. Okay. And then so we don't know. So we just fly, and then we have very good time. We get very good lunch in Bangkok until midnight. We arrive in Kenya, and then the next morning 8 o'clock, I believe I may still remember, very early in the morning, is 7 or 8 o'clock, and then we both was shocked when they show us that our visa is expired. really shocked. And then we immediately say, Chimeng, you continue the journey. You continue the journey. We will take care of our visa. And then Chimeng, okay. At the time, we just shocked, but we are not panic. Yeah, Chimeng, yeah. And I still remember Chimeng just walk in. Okay, and then he just walk in, and then he just go in, and then he say bye.
The first time.
That's the first, very, very funny one. And then we both, Juliani, and then we are so, wait, now we will call everybody, call this and call that. We call any contact that we can. And then really thanks God sent us angel. And finally, that day is Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. The next day, we get our visa, which is something that miracle. According to everybody, that is something impossible. Then we get our visa, and then we fly to Nigeria, and then we met Chimeng 3 days after the accident. Yeah, so it's really funny. So at the time, I tell you, yeah, my impression about Chimeng. Okay, this. Maybe not everybody can handle this situation. Me and Yuliani, just both of us. Oh, we have friends. Yeah, we stay in the airport. Don't know where to go. Don't know where to contact. We just try to contact anybody. We contact our contact in South Africa, in Indonesia, everywhere. Okay, but for Chimeng, this one, if he is not strong, he will not go to Nigeria alone. Okay, Why? Because everybody know Nigeria is a red zone, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, we already arranged the pick up everything, right? But now he is alone. Yeah. So this is we can show you that somebody that really put himself ready to face the challenge. So that's why if you say how Chimeng today, it's because of the process.
Yeah, Chị. Thank you so much.
I believe the Kenya case is one of the process, one of the big process. Leave alone fly to Nigeria, right, Chimeng? So that's it.
Yeah. Still remember the trauma until now.
So you sure that this is not one of the training process in FFG?
That is accidentally training, accidentally happened. So I believe God already prepared Chimeng through these kinds of accidents.
Yeah, maybe we have to ask our amazing founder if he purposely tell all the top leader that whenever you travel with your first student, you have to do this purposely. Yeah, so I would like to ask this question also to Pak Ongki, and also I have another question for him. Please, Pak.
And I don't know, maybe God's plans for Chimeng. That's why now he is now in this beautiful country, Solomon Island, for almost 2 years. There's a preparation for the COVID-19. Pre-training, and otherwise he is not ready in Solomon Island. Maybe for those never been in Solomon Island or never been in Singapore, maybe that is a two different what I can say. Singapore is one of the most expensive city on earth. Okay. And Solomon Island, I can say maybe a country, if you just comparison like Indonesia in 1950 years. I mean 1950, something like that. So you can see that the different economy status and social life and so on. And Chimeng as a Singaporean, and now living in this Solomon Island, if the mindset is not ready, I don't think people can survive living in Solomon Island as a Singaporean. Am I correct, Chimeng? Is that correct, Chimeng?
Maybe, yeah. But I just share with you what in Solomon Island. I never know that there is this thing called water pump. You know water pump? Yeah. Until I come to Solomon Island. Yeah, because in Singapore, our water come from the government, come from the reservoir. Yeah. But here, the government give you water with the pipe, Then the pipe, you must go and buy the water pump to pump the water into the water tank. Then you can get the water in your house. I never know that there is this thing called water pump, electrical water pump to pump the water into your house. And then if the power cut off, you must go out of your house and go and on the water pump so that the pump will work again. Then there will be water in your house again. Okay, it's not normal. Okay, it's not like Singapore. The water guarantee there's pressure. Pressure. The water pump is to have power for the water to come into your house. Yeah. So without the water pump, you will never get water in your house. So I tell you, if I never come to Solomon Island, I will never know there is this thing called water pump in the house. Yeah. So yeah, that is like, you are correct. 1950s. Yeah. Because I don't think 1970s Singapore, we use water pump. Our government already has the pressure in the water already. Here, the water, no pressure.
Yeah. Can I imagine? Because I spend a lot of time in Singapore, knowing Singaporean. I don't say all Singaporean. Most of the Singaporean, they have the called kiasu mindset, and sometimes they're living in the beautiful country, blessed. Sometimes they go to the country is less blessed than the country. They're starting to say ba 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 ba. You know what I mean by ba 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 ba? Okay, and Chi Ming, in this young age and born in Singapore, and he can enjoy Solomon. Even me, could be is a big challenge for me living in Solomon at this moment. But Chi Ming, I really appreciate you, Chi Ming. It's not easy.
Maybe can test, Pak.
Who wants to go first? Maybe you really want to try. You really want to try. Matthias want to try. It's okay. Maybe you must learn from Chi.
Maybe not that.
Hey, Chi Ming, I think you have one day you must conduct a training how to survive in the country called Solomon Island.
No, then Chi Ming have to invite the founder together to have the experience so that you can together do the
And
training.
I think the founder must be the student of Chi Ming, and in this case. Yeah, Chi Ming actually is a wonderful young boy. I can say a golden boy with a fantastic attitude. I know him since he was so young, and according to me, is a special person. Like this young boy have this kind of fighter. It's a like fighter, and fighting attitude is fantastic. And he is quite mature in his age, according to me. He is too all of that kind of attitude as a young boy. That's why now he become a Shaolin Sifu. You see, he is so young, like a Shaolin Sifu already. Botak. Is that correct, Chi Ming?
Yeah. Premature. Yeah.
Premature. Yeah, but the young boy must learn from you, Chi Ming. Yeah, it's even old man can learn from you. Yeah, this is my perception about Chi Ming. I see a lot of he's a man of, he's a boy. I can say he's a boy of dream big. He is really a good communicator, as according to me. I am the witness how he do and how he did the prospecting to the foreigner, for the stranger and so on. One day we did the morning walk or something in the Bukit Timah. Okay, during the morning walk, and he already crossing few people over there. Can you imagine in only 1 hour crossing people over during the morning walk? That is Chi Ming.
Amazing. Yeah, Pak. Thank you so much for this. Now it's already 15 minutes. We really enjoyed this show, and then time is really fly so fast. Actually, a lot of questions I haven't asked. So I would like to ask to the other amazing person and another amazing man in this show, okay? As I know, he knows some secret behind Chi Ming. I heard that he talking about the hidden dream that Chi Ming had. And right now he has a chance to train on this, So I want to ask this question to Pak Matthias. How did you come to know about this hidden dream from Chi Ming? Pak Matthias, please.
Hi, Terry. Wow.
Yeah, hi, Pak.
This is the secret, huh?
Yeah, it's a secret because I never know this.
Yeah. Actually, it's a burden for me as well, and so scary when Chi Ming came to Jakarta, because once he met me, this is the only point that he will ask me. He asked me about this. A few times already. Yeah, I think it's 5 years ago, if not mistaken, started. So I know Chi Ming will share later, but I know one of his favorite sport is golf, right, Chi Ming? You like golf very much. So and you play sometimes in Jakarta years back, yeah. But I don't know during the FFG, yeah. You are so busy going to Nigeria and Kenya. I think that's makes you don't have time to come to Jakarta for playing golf. But every time he's coming to Jakarta, he asks me, "Do you know how can I play in Jakarta? What's the cost, etc. Where can I play? You have friends?" And my challenge is that I don't play golf. Yeah, I know I have a lot of friends in my previous company. Yes, we have club, but personally I don't play golf. So I say yes. Okay, I'll check with my friends. But sometimes we forget because you personally you don't play. Yeah. So I'm quite scary when let's say if we have event in Jakarta, whether it's boot camp or any others event, and I know he's coming and we met. I know. I just realized I say, I have problem. I forget again. So that's what happened, Terry. Yeah. So even until today, I don't think in the last couple of years you play in Jakarta, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't have chance to play for last 10 years in Jakarta.
But I think that's God's plan because he really want to play and be a pro a little bit in golf. Now you can ask him. He can have so many time so freely in Solomon. Yeah.
Yeah, Pak. Yeah. That's why, because when I heard about this, I was wow.
He's the future Tiger Woods.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the next Tiger Woods. Yeah.
You can ask, but this is serious. I'm not saying this is, but you can ask for him for personally about this. Yeah, how he can make this happen.
And I believe also, as we know, playing golf is not a cheap sport. Yeah,
absolutely.
Anywhere in the world, including Singapore. And what I see from Chimeng at very young age, he can play golf in Singapore. He can play golf in Solomon Island. I think this kind of lifestyle is not many people can enjoy this kind of lifestyle, especially young Singaporean. Correct, Chimeng? So I think you better now ask Chimeng how he can have this kind of lifestyle.
That is.
Sorry.
You can tell us, because talking about golf for me, I think it's very expensive sport, And talking about now, you are in Solomon, away from your country. There's no question. There is a double expense in your family, and for me, I can ask like a normal human, like how can you survive? Other business bankrupt during this COVID, but you not only talking about bankrupt, but you double your expense, and then you double your lifestyle, and now you can become a pro of golf. So can you share us more?
Yeah, I know we are running out of time, but I just want to say this in maybe my last few sharing. First of all, I'm very blessed. My father is a very good golfer, my dad. So at young age, I was exposed. Okay, when I get to know FFG 14 years ago, I have a small little dream. I wanted to go everywhere in the world to play golf, but I never play golf for 10 years, around 10 years, I think, since I joined FFG. So it's like a dream, but it's funny because you never have time to play golf. Yeah. So I keep asking Matthias. I think I play golf with Pak Onggi. Almost the first 2 years we met. I don't know if he remember, we play with Alex or very beginning lah. But actually that was just a moment only, because after that I have no time to play at all. My golf club is in the locker for like 10 years already. So so during this time, I thank God. Maybe God gave me a chance. I wanted to really play professionally next few years. After I become my CDA, that's my first goal. Actually, golf is not my goal now. So this 1 or 2 years, this 1.5 years, I really practice very hard, and I play very well now. So I hope one day I can bring FFG everywhere. When I play golf, I can share with people how to enjoy life. Yeah. Enjoying the sport or your dream when you are doing this amazing business. So that is my little sharing. And talking about what I say, the management. I didn't even saw this video, so maybe I don't know how to share when I'm looking at my own video also.
Yeah, you really look like a pro.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Indra, for the video. Yeah. So anyway, my last sharing is how do I enjoy golf? Very important. It's not just the golf, but I want to thank Pak Onggi for that last thing. That is called personal finance management. If I never learned this skill of handling my finance from FFG, there is a system which I don't think I have time to share. But I just want to say that FFG is not a business doing network marketing, but also ever-growing learning platform where we manage ourselves, spiritually, mentally, and financially, which I think extremely important. So I want to encourage every one of you to really find out more about this amazing FFG system, because if not for this system today, I can't be enjoying myself here, my family in Singapore. I am supporting my parents, my 2 children. I tell you, it's a lot of money every month, but because of this business, literally, I am enjoying the peace here in Solomon playing golf. So thank you, Pak Onggi. Thank you, Florence. Thank you, Jiaju, Matthias, all of you for your wisdom. If not, I wouldn't be who I am today, enjoying my sport, my passion, and my lifestyle today. So that's all my sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ming, for amazing untold story. But before that, I still has one last question, connecting also to your success in terms of financial, spiritual, and leadership, everything. It's connect. If I'm not wrong, just now you mentioned in the beginning that there is an advice from your first mentor, Mr. Onggi, to sell away your sport car. Okay, so why you are today? Because also that first advice from him. So I would like to ask him to share about this and also his word to all of us. Please, Pak.
Thank you, Terry. Yeah, another good showcase this today untold story from Chi Ming. You know, Chi Ming is a very young age already drive a sport car in, I think, 22 years old. Drive a sport car is a very, very, so people call so successful. But Chi Ming, in the sense, also tell the truth to me. Actually, he say, frankly speaking, he also have the financial challenge, even the driving the sport car, because the purpose of driving sport car is to show off. What I understand, I know why network marketing people always show off by the cars, by the beautiful home and traveling around the world. That is nothing wrong. That is okay, as long as you can handle your basic needs. The basic needs meaning your cash flow, daily cash flow, and the way of how you see the cash flow and the manage of your money in the correct way. According to me, this young guy actually in the so-called, sorry, I can say Chi Ming, misleading from the so-called his leader that force him to show off. In FFG concept, we don't do that way. I never ask people to buy a car, buy home, or whatever to show off. The most important thing, you have the peaceful mind about money first. It's not to show off. Because we want to the long run in the business. The most important thing, if you are not peaceful mind with money, your energy is not good. That's why when he told me that actually he has a challenge of money, I said, Chi Ming, no point you show off. Meanwhile, you have the challenge of the money. So better you sell your car, and he is so good. I mean, he follows, and actually, according to me, that's the first step of the breakthrough of his mindset about money. I'm so happy today. I know Chi Ming now is not only earning quite good money, he also invests his money now. That's why he is so peaceful mind in this business. Aside of his consistently income, passive income, he also enjoy the passive income from his investment. This is what I understand. For that, I'm happy for him, and especially he not only success to handle his own money, but he also support the parents. I think he is a man of responsibility. Okay, for that I say respect to Chi Ming. Yeah, this is my point of view about Chi Ming, Terry.
Yeah, thank you, Pak. Time
You're
is
welcome.
really not allow us to ask more, not allow us to talk more. Yeah.
True.
I heard that Chi Ming also prepare a video about his journey with FFG, also his family. But before that, before we play the video, I would like to invite Chi Ming to say a word that he want to talk to his family. I mean, like to your beautiful wives, to your children. So after this, we will play the video.
Yes.
Chi Ming?
If my family is watching, I don't know whether they are watching or not. Anyway, to my wife,
sure
my
they are
beautiful
watching.
wife. Yes, and my two lovely children, Jaden and Abigail. I love you. I love you all. Miss you all. And I will see you all very soon. Thank you for waiting for me. And love you, love you, love you. Thank you.
Especially for your wife.
My wife is he just need to see me only. What he say, what is cheap? He must see action already.
So just hug lah, Chi Ming, hug.
Hug. Every night we hug already. Every night we hug in the video already. Yeah. So anyway lah. Yeah. Thank you for the patience. Yeah, my beautiful wife. Yeah. For taking care the two lovely children. It's not easy. Thank you for having faith, for having trust and being strong. Thank God for this beautiful family, for your hard work at home. I love you and see you very, very, very soon.
Wow, yes, I believe she's very happy now. And thank you so much for all your sharing, Chi Ming. It's really opened our heart and to the next level. We want to be successful like you. And thank you for all the amazing VIP person here, my amazing mentor, my founder, okay, Pak Ongi, Chi Florence, Pak Matthias, and Jeju for your time today. So we would like to close this session with a Chi Ming video, and we would like to say bye-bye to every one of you. Thank you for watching, and we will going to see you next with our amazing Untold Story number 21. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Let us all say goodbye to you and we wish you a happy and love and your family. Okay, let us all say goodbye. Bye bye. Sending love from Cambodia, Singapore, Indonesia, Solomon to all of you.